Hey folks, how you doing? This is Steve with Backyard Fed. First things first, I'd like to tell everybody Happy Easter. I know it's a rough time right now with the coronavirus and everything else going on, but I really hope everybody's enjoying their Easter with what little bit of family we can be around, and make sure to call your friends, your family, tell them all you love them, and Happy Easter. But there are some things I want to talk about today, folks. Number one thing I want to talk about are these little ladies back here, these chickens. Um, with the coronavirus and everything going on, there are a lot of people that want to get into gardening, growing their own fruit trees, fruit bushes, grabbing little baby chicks. Um, I think a lot of people, with good reason, are panicking. So they're grabbing different things, and they're expecting it just to go smooth and everything be perfect. Buddy, come on, dude, leave my drink alone. What are you doing, dog? Knock it off. No, come on, buddy. That's Buddy. He's a pain in the butt. Okay, give me my drink. No. Um, so what I really want to talk to you about is don't panic buy chickens. Okay, chickens are a lot more work than just buying a couple chicks and getting meat in a couple months, or getting eggs in a couple more months. There's a few things people need to understand about chickens. First off, depends on how you're going to get them. I mean, you can get them straight from a hatchery. You can get them from Tractor Supply. You can get them all over the place, obviously. Um, you can get them while they're still in the egg, and you can have your own little incubator, and you can hatch them yourself. You can buy them as little chicks. If you're just starting out, all right, this is very important. If you're just starting out and you decided to get chickens to help provide for you and your family and stuff, getting them from egg or getting them when they're just a day or two old, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for you than going out and finding a local farmer online or something that you can purchase a chicken that's already laying or something like that. I know now it's kind of rough to do that because, well, we're not supposed to be going around people. But there's just so much involved that people don't know about. Like, for instance, like I'm just going to go ahead and forget about the whole hatching them from egg. I'm just going to start with your day or two old chicks that you're going to buy at Tractor Supply or get from a hatchery or something like that. What a lot of people don't understand is you can't just take those chicks and put them outside. You can't do it. You have to leave them in your house. They have to be fully feathered and stuff. That's usually about 5-6 weeks that you're going to keep those baby chicks in your home. And as cute and fun as that sounds, like right now, I literally have 8 little baby chicks in my house. My kids love them. I love them. My puppies are finally doing good with some chicks. But they are messy. They can be smelly. It's a big pain in the butt. I've got them in my office right now, and within the first day, my office was just covered in dust from them picking around through the bedding and everything else, and it's a real mess, and it's a real big hassle. It's something you're gonna have to be ready for. I personally love having my chickens. That's why I got more. It is a great benefit to our little urban homestead we have here. Um, but you've got to know what kind of feed you got to get. Um, you've got to have the right bedding. You've got to have something to keep them in. So I just want to tell people when you're in a panic and stuff, don't panic buy chickens unless you really do your research. Because I'll tell you right now, like, as soon as you get those chickens, all right, and you have them in your house, you've got your heat lamps, you've got your bedding, you got your feeder, you got your water, you've got the bedding, you've got a container to keep them in, all right? First week or so, you got this little itty bitty cute little thing, and it's just like you see for pictures with the Easter baskets and stuff, people A lot of people actually buy little baby chickens, little baby ducks and stuff as Easter presents, but they are cute. But a week goes by, 2 weeks go by. Like right now, mine are about 4 weeks, and they're about 80%, 90% feathered. And they're still cute, but they're to the point where they're starting to try to fly, so they'll be jumping out of the container soon. So I've got a cover on top, so that way they can't do that. That's something else you're going to have to be prepared for. And if you're going to get chickens, the very first thing you do before you even buy a chick, get your coop set up, get your run ready. Because if you don't have that stuff and you have those chicks in your house, when it's time, you're gonna want them out of your house. Like, I'll be honest right now, I wish I could take mine out of the house right now, but up here in Michigan, I live by the upper part of the hand, so it's still a little cold. And you can usually set them out about 5 weeks, let them be in the yard and in the coop and stuff like that. Now, this is another thing, all right? Depending on what you're going to raise your chickens for, all right? Let's just get on that topic now. Depending on what you're going to raise your chickens for, if you want your chickens for meat, okay, that's going to be your fastest option for chickens. All right, so you're going to buy your chicken, you got to keep it in the house for the first 5-6 weeks, let it get fully feathered so it can be out in the yard, so forth and so forth. And then you have to change their food to a completely different kind of food. All right, you start off on chick feed, and then you're going to go to the growing feed and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about the laying pellets and stuff like that for your meat birds, because the calcium levels and stuff with the... You all right, buddy? But the calcium and stuff that they put into the laying feed and stuff, that's all to produce the eggs and stuff like that. So you're not really going to have to worry about that too much. But you are going to have to get them a heavier feed and stuff for growth and everything. And then you're still going to have to keep them in your yard, depending on if you do a chicken tractor, you do a coop, or anything like that, another 6 weeks. You know, you keep them in the house for 6 weeks, you keep them outside for 6 weeks, and then right around 12 weeks, you can usually butcher a meat bird if you're going to do it that way. Me personally, I get dual purpose birds. I keep all my birds for 2 years. Get the best production of egg laying that I can for the first 2 years, and then they go in my freezer. Now, on the other side, like say you want chickens for eggs. All right, you're gonna raise that chicken for 5 weeks in the house. You're gonna put it in his coop, and it's gonna be, hey, get off that fence, please. Come on, boys, come on. I'm trying to rip down a little fence I just put around my garden. You guys know, you know better. But the chicken is not going to start laying eggs till about 6 months old. And when they start off, their eggs are smaller. They don't lay as frequently. Usually about the 8-month period, they're pretty much about their right laying, but it will take a good year before their eggs are actual size of what they're actually going to be laying. So that's just something you're going to really want to keep in mind. Like if you're buying chickens right now, so you can have food for your family while this coronavirus and stuff is going on, if you're going for eggs, that's going to be 6 months. If you're going for meat, that's going to be 12 weeks. So that's just something you really want to take note of. And you want to make sure you're prepared, because like I said, that first 5-6 weeks, you're going to have those chickens in your house. All right, they start off yay big, they're about yay big when they come out of your house. So that's another thing too, the container that you pick to raise your chicks in, and you grab 3 chicks and they're yay big, you put them in a container this big because they only take up this much room. By the time that you get them out and they're in a container this big, each chick's going to be yay big. So that container is going to be pretty cramped. Dogs are going crazy, as usual. And then there's more things that you have to consider. You have to worry about predators. For me, for instance, I don't know if you can see my ladies right there. I've got two little ladies right there. That is Sunny and Drumstick. All right, I had 6 of them. Over the winter, we had some predators get in. Unfortunately, one of the predators were my puppies. That's another issue you're going to have, is your own animals. If they're not used to them and they're not trained with them, like we had St. Bernards before, and they were raised by them. They were used to the chickens and everything. And unfortunately, my boy passed away almost 2 years ago now. And me and my wife and kids decided we were going to grab a couple new puppies, and that's been really rough. Trying to keep them out of the gardens and keep them away from the chickens and everything else. Like I said, they did actually get one of the chickens, which was a horrible, horrible thing. Gunner, you're gross. My puppies eat poop. I don't understand that. That's just gross. Alright. So, folks, all I'm saying is that if you are in panic mode and you're just buying chickens because you're panicking, I would definitely do a second thought on it. I love having my chickens. I think they're wonderful. Like I said, I've got 8 in the house, and then I've got my 2 ladies here. These ladies have about another year, and then they'll end up in my freezer, and then those 2, obviously 2 years, like I said earlier. But in the meantime, I'm going to be getting fresh eggs every morning, which, oh man, the eggs that you get from your own chickens are just absolutely amazing. The meat is going to taste better than you get from the store. I mean, everything about it is just better and healthier. You'll never see a yolk like you get out of your own chickens when you go to the store. Like, you go to the store and you buy an egg, and you got this little yellow yolk, and the egg looks all nice. Then you open up one of your eggs, you put it next to it, and you can just tell immediately that the egg you got in the store is garbage. It goes from a yellow oak to this bright orange, and it's just real creamy and just delicious. So there are definitely benefits. I love having our chickens. My kids are out here with the chickens all the time, and it's just a wonderful experience. I strongly recommend that you do get chickens. But be prepared, be ready, and just make sure to do your research. You're going to want to research breeds too, because like I said, some of them are meat birds, some of them are just egg birds, some of them are dual purpose birds. All right, so you're going to want to do your research on that. You're going to want to know which chickens are going to fit your family best. Like, I have kids, so for me, well, I'm in the city anyway, so I can't have any roosters because roosters are a little bit more aggressive. But for me, I wanted chickens that are really docile and they're friendly and you can hold them, stuff like that. So the breeds that I went with, I made sure that all of them were nice, friendly chickens. There are some breeds out there that are friendlier than others, and there's some breeds out there that don't even want you to touch them. So, I mean, this is all stuff you're going to want to look into if you're going to grab chickens, folks. I know this probably isn't the most informative video in the world. I'm hoping you guys get the gist of it all and everything, but I just really, really want to put out there, if you're going to do it, you really need to do your research. You need to find out what the stuff is that you're going to need. You're going to need to find out what kind of breeds you want. You're going to need to know if you want meat chickens, laying chickens, or dual purpose chickens. You're going to have to be prepared to deal with the mess in your house, to take care of the chickens in your house. That's the worst part, folks. Like, dealing with the chickens for that first 5-6 weeks in the house is the worst part. We try to keep our house pretty clean. I mean, we've got a bunch of kids, we got a couple dogs and a cat, so, and obviously our house isn't going to be spotless, but we try to keep our house pretty clean. My wife is really good at that. Don't tell her I said that. But when you have chickens inside your house is going to smell. Yeah, there's just no way around it. I mean, you can clean that thing out daily, and for some reason you're going to have dust everywhere, and it's going to have an odor. So just be prepared for stuff like that. Yeah, and folks, if this is your first time to the channel, do me a favor, go give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. push a little bell icon. We'll be doing a lot of other videos and stuff, especially now that springtime's here and summertime's coming. We got the gardens and the chickens and everything else going on, so really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, folks, that's really the gist of it. Just make sure you know what you're doing. If you're gonna go out and buy chickens, don't buy chickens just because you're panicked. You need to do your research and find out exactly what you need for your own family. And be ready that it doesn't happen overnight. A lot of people think they're going to get chickens and you're going to have eggs in a month. It's not going to be the case, folks. You will have meat in a couple months, in like 3 months. So, I mean, if you want something fast, it's probably the fastest way you're going to be able to go. But if you are going that way, you have to be prepared to butcher that chicken, get that chicken feathered, get it in your freezer. And the capability of doing that, I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble doing that by themselves. Another thing you can do if you are going the meat route, you can actually have other people butcher them for you. I know the Amish are really great at that. If you have any Amish people in your communities, they're usually really cheap for doing it, and they do an excellent job. I mean, this is their lifestyle, you know, so they know what they're doing, they do a good job, and they're usually pretty decently priced. You can bring them to meat markets and stuff too. Not all meat markets will do it, but a good majority of them will. But they're going to charge more. But yeah, folks, I guess I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I know it's Easter. We're all trying to spend a little bit of time with what family we can today. And just keep in mind, folks, you know, it is Easter. All right, Jesus Christ rose from the grave today. We will rise up and above this virus. It will be over. And we just pray that everybody will care about and makes it through it and everybody stays safe. But folks, I'll go ahead and let you go. God bless you. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let your backyard feed you, folks. Happy Easter. Till next time. You dogs are crazy. You are crazy dogs. Oh, still going.